Everybody, it's your old friends of Monday Madness, and welcome to the latest edition of the Paul of Cthulhu series. Sorry if we kept you waiting on this one, folks. I know a lot of people may have been very excited after this came out in the from their three doors, but we are playing Deadly Premonition here on the Paul of Cthulhu series. Paul, we had every intention of doing this live, but unfortunately circumstances has conspired against us. But at some point in our lives, we're hoping to do this together. But for the moment, are you excited to check out Deadly Premonition?
You know what, I am. And I suppose things will have to be... We'll have to do as we can until we are in the same timeline again. In case there was some questioning, I think we basically explained this at some point, possibly during the Susan Sit and Run, that the timeline's a little bit fucked where we are. So until that syncs up again, we'll have to make do.
Exactly. So I have played a little bit of this game, basically as an advance to see how this would go. So yeah, I've only clocked the first couple of hours of it, so I've kept myself in the dark a little bit here about this game. But for those uninitiated, and I was telling you a little bit about this prior, Paul, but if you're familiar with the Twin Peaks show from the ludicrous mind of David Lynch, then this game would be right up your alley, because this is essentially a Japanese man trying to replicate Twin Peaks in all but name, really. I'm surprised David Lynch didn't sue, to be honest, because a lot of the stuff is really on the fucking nose sometimes. So, which I can only applaud, to be honest. But yeah, as we were talking about prior, like, you're kind of uninitiated to Twin Peaks overall, which I was slightly upset about at the time. But I think this hopefully will resonate with you at some point. Either way, it's not required, but I'm hoping it would make more sense if you did watch the show. But nevertheless, this is what we have now. So, are you looking forward to?
I'm sorry. Something composed of nonsense and nonsense making would make more sense if I subjected myself to more nonsense.
Yes, it's like that's a recursion. It's like the doubling up over itself. You know, it's just like why is this happening?
I'm not sure what type of logic you're using to come to that conclusion, but that sounded like a sequence of words that were pulled at random.
To be fair with you, Paul, I have to do something just to keep this to make this sound somewhat sensible. But I suppose we better jump into it then. So
I suppose let us subject the viewers to whatever the fuck.
So it's a surrealist adventure of the highest variety. So yes, we're about to press play here on our side. So starting on 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay, instructions about a controller that doesn't even have a touchpad.
Well, it was for the
have those.
for the PS3. That's what it was talking about.
Ah.
Apparently, there's 6-axis control. I have not encountered it so far in my playthrough. So that's something, I guess.
Well, I guess that might have been the aspiration at some point in development.
I guess so, yeah. For full disclosure, we are playing the director's cut version on the PlayStation 3. So some of you may be confused as to why there seems to be extra goodies compared to the original game released back in the mid-2000s. But yeah, we're playing this on the PS3. Just kind of convenience, really, to be honest, on our side. But yeah, this is the interesting
thing. Appreciate it. I mean, we have birdsong and trees and
twins.
Tiny blonde children with a haircut that was very popular among children in some point in the timeline.
Yes, it's called the bowl cut, Paul. highly fashionable back in the 60s, you know.
Yeah.
So, it's two twins, slightly colored shirts, because they're very similar, you see.
I mean, yeah. If you didn't reinforce demand that your children be identical, then
It's
people might
dangerous
know
to
they're
run around
people
here,
might not
boys.
know they're related.
Yes, precisely.
Grandpa, hurry up. Grandpa, you're too slow.
Are they using diagonal exclamation marks in place of full stops?
No, it's when they do exclaim, that's just whatever font they're using does that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's gone for a very cinematic vibe, as it were. Hence why the credits smash cut in between the action. And this is the person to blame.
Okay. Is this one of those things that really wants to be, a TV series or a movie?
Oh yeah, oh for sure. Like I'm not even joking when I said it's aping Twin Peaks in a lot of things.
Right. At some point, we're going to have to see if we can get control of the in-game volume, because I can barely hear you over the sound of this music, and
Yeah, it's quite.
Well, this is getting weird already.
Yeah. So we have a dead woman now. I think I do actually cut the volume at the start, early on in the video, so it should be okay from that point on. But yeah, like this is kind of the cut and thrust of Twin
Jesus
Peaks.
fucking Christ!
Yeah. Right.
That's
an image.
Well.
And these two 7-year-olds are basically.
Both those children's future sex lives are just a complete write-off. No, they're gonna be fucked up for life. There's
my son is how we make an incel.
Has he just noticed that now?
Yeah, he's only looked up since this point. And now there's a white
and
climbing.
snake.
Symbolism.
There's some there's an awful lot of there's a Venn diagram of imagery and symbolism here.
There's
there's a
4 or
Venn
5
diagram of a lot of things that shouldn't have overlap.
That's what I'm saying. There's 4 or 5 different circles competing for the same spot. It's great. But yeah, that's
okay.
Thing.
Yeah, okay, I get the idea of fine, snake woman trade some Garden of Eden and stuff there, but there's also the fact that it's a white snake and she referred to a woman's slit, and there's penis jokes, there's Adam and snake even snake jokes, and then there's just a whole bunch of other shit you can cram in there. And why are the children still there?
Because they're witnesses.
Well, they seem to have bounced right the fuck back.
they weren't concerned about
what the fuck is that ladybug? What the hell is that on?
That ladybug is crucial to the plot, Paul.
It's clearly like a rocket in disguise as a ladybug, because those things don't shit up that fast. And I presume we have some sort of actress here holding a skull. Or maybe a picture of a skull.
No, that's the picture of the victim.
Okay.
So we're kind of seeing kind of out of context these characters we'll see eventually, because ultimately what you're trying to do is trying to find out who killed this girl Anna, because you're playing the FBI agent that's essentially involved in the case. So you're kind of seeing a bit of a preview of some of the suspects you might interact with, and a few others that are kind of left hidden. So you're kind of seeing the whole idea of this is you're kind of seeing the very different reactions of the people in there. I think they're meant to be sisters, the 3 of them. Hence why
that's some wanky cupboard art right there. That is pointy.
it's as modern art as it gets.
What the fuck? like, this is the worst date imaginable.
Exactly.
I get news of my sister's death, and my date that I've just met is more broken up by it than I am.
He's literally could
Wait,
not have
was he
gone
just
any
trying
worse.
to use me to get to my sister who's now dead? That's why he's upset?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, wouldn't be the first time that's happened.
Right, first things first. I'm going to have to insist you do something about the sound, because you're honestly going to have to start screaming to be heard.
Lower the YouTube video.
Oh well, shit. Goddamn. That's.
That would help, Paul.
I mean, it would help, but I got a feeling that I might be losing some of the audio and dialogue.
It's fine. You can look it back in the
That's
edit,
what
I
I'll have
guess.
to do.
And it's all subtitles, so it's fine.
It's going to get all 15 plus 1 bullets.
One in the chamber, after all.
Okay, we are on to Creepy Child number 3.
Yep. No,
and given the graphics of this game, all children will be labeled as Creepy Child number whatever.
We won't be able to tell them apart. Just different haircuts.
Listen, they all look like the kind of dolls that show up next to your bed with a knife.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. The type of child that Scary Movie is based around.
Pretty much.
I want to hear another story.
Yes. Of course. You've been waiting a long time for this, so how about a special one? This story is very strange and very nasty, but somewhat nostalgic. Do you think you can be a good girl and listen all the way to the end?
Is it a scary
nasty,
story?
are you just a really shitty storyteller?
Might be.
Possibly, yeah.
But
there could be like a.
It's also a
It's just a guy
very
bullshitting to his
important
daughter or
story.
grandkid. I'm assuming
If
grandkid,
you
I'd
don't
say.
want to hear it, I can tell you a different story.
No,
I love as well that
that
whoever the voice actor is clearly just doing his
This
old
way,
man
I won't be
voice, where he
scared.
just puts a quiver in everything he
Turn
says.
on the TV then. Leave the sound down like always.
That's
Strange.
typically
Now,
you don't have a
listen.
TV on when you're doing a story with the
This
sound off.
is important.
Yes.
At times. we
Again,
must
it's kind of a
urge
current,
those
reoccurring
who
theme of the game is that like just people are just like
should not exist.
very odd,
Persian.
and say weird things.
You know,
If it means losing someone that you love.
right, okay, just based on those two lines, I think he killed his homosexual boyfriend in order to be more Christian. Like, the man did birthings from the world, even if it means listening alone. Or
Again,
alternative religious killing children. It could be any number of things. Because, no one clear has a sound mind.
Yeah, it's a very...
He gets it. That guy gets it. This is weird.
Well, actually, Paul, that is your main character. That we are
Okay,
looking at
are
now.
we the only one not... Okay, we're either on the most drugs or not enough drugs, and I don't know which is which.
It's very hard to tell. Yeah, this is an odd one. This is our main character. That's his name. An FBI agent. Again, very much based off the guy from Twin Peaks. It's a thing. And you gotta get these these are kind of like the start of the chapters of this game, where you just get this kind of like weird I suppose again it's meant to be a premonition if you're part of this one of like what the next chapter is going to be about, but it is just out of context imagery that won't make sense until 3 hours later, if you know what I mean. Once you've forgotten.
This is what actual psychics want their powers to actually be.
A little bit, yeah.
So we're actually playing as if an actual psychic got into the FBI.
Pretty much, yeah.
Keep waiting. It will start soon.
So in conclusion,
It's
we are on
about
the
time
drugs.
to get started.
Okay, to be sure, we're on the drugs. We're not sure about everybody else, but they might be.
Yeah, it could be the case that we're actually the one that's having a good day, and everyone else is just we're in Silent Hill. Sorry, lads. Imagery everywhere.
Zach, can you hear me?
It's me.
Oh god damn it! Are we playing Final Fantasy again? Okay, no, sorry.
So, false alarm. False alarm. There's
Okay,
no.
good.
It is Japanese, but not that Japanese.
That's a generous. That is a generous as fuck quick time event.
I thought you went to sleep.
Now this is the deal, right? Basically, this main character speaks to someone called Zach during this investigation, and Zach is meant to be us, the player.
Let's take it slow. Okay, Zach?
Okay, so you understand my confusion about suddenly Final Fantasy VII, right?
I can absolutely acknowledge that.
That's
Yeah.
one way of looking at it.
All right,
It's
go.
totally wrong.
And this is him, Francis York Morgan, our main character.
All right.
Listen, they both need each other. It's called interdependency, and they both know it. Yeah, I know.
This
He
is-
does terrible things to Tom, nasty, even sadistic things. But that's fine, as long as that's what Tom
Right?
wants. Think about it. His actions. He's always asking for it.
He's
It's
driving
his partner's job
in like the Pistons of Rain on the country road,
Jerry
smoking
knows that.
on a phone and fiddling on the laptop at the same time.
Proof?
Like,
Well, in the Tom and Jerry show, they live with each other.
He's not even talking about a case. He's just talking about the cartoon.
Jesus fucking
Well,
Christ! Wait, so that's it's not a case that he's like conveying crucial investigation details about a serial killer. No, he's just like shit talking a cartoon with someone.
He's actually recording a podcast about his favorite
No,
cartoon.
like-
Go to another town in the boondocks again. Well, I'll be a happy camper, even if it ends up being a waste of time. At the very least, it'll get me out of the cramped city for a while.
Okay, so he's now
Exactly.
deciding I'm going to get shit-faced during his investigation.
Perpetrator from the last case.
In a way, like he's one of these kind of like he's kind of cast as one of these like super elite FBI agents that's basically come out to like the countryside for a bit of sport, in a sense.
Crazy.
But he is like following up on a case
I now have a scar
that
to show
he's
off.
attached to anyway. Hence why you had the kind of evidence bag there.
You see this? I got this when I arrested the Catwoman wannabe. Women. They're crazy.
Who the fuck is he talking to?
Us. He's
Okay,
talking to us.
so he's driving with fuck off visibility in the red
Yeah.
phone and on his laptop. Okay,
He's trying to light a cigarette. No. Right, yeah, great. This is going well.
oh, and no seatbelt. Well done.
He's in an old Mustang. They didn't have seatbelts back then. Squirrels. Shit. They're fine.
Well,
no
they know
squirrels
how
were
to
harmed
dodge at
in
least.
the car crash.
I mean, he has a stressful job, so I imagine he deals with a lot of coping mechanisms, and one of those might just be like call the sex hotline and talk about like Tom and Jerry cartoons. and if that's his way of getting
Oh.
through the day, when his day is nothing but like horrific satanic killings, then fair enough, I guess.
I like that as a mental image. Like he is just like, because all the stuff he investigates is so dark and creepy and horrid, he actually just like calls a sex line for a friend. It's like, hi, I'm Frank. Yeah, is Angela there? I want to talk about this episode I watched about Tom and Jerry. I feel very conflicted about it.
Pretty much.
I love that as an
And
idea.
it's one of those things where yes, this was initially weird, but quite frankly,
There goes
they
the
managed to
civilized
find
world.
like the one person who works a sex line who's into that kind of cartoon, and they start fucking vibing about it.
Yes, like not only have you found the one prostitute that doesn't really want phone sex right now, but would actually just rather have a chat, just for tonight. Just I actually would like a chat. Thanks.
I
It's
mean,
just so nice to
like
find
if
someone
he's willing to pay
you.
for it, then
Yeah,
I mean, getting paid to just like talk about like the weird the psychological analysis of Tom and Jerry.
to be fair, like we have just crashed our car, destroyed laptop, all this FBI like assets, and we're apparently just like so nonchalant about it. So yeah, this guy is
Well,
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, based on the nonsense you see in, say, I don't know, the Archer cartoon or something, the FBI needs to use up its full budget. That way it can ask for even more money next time. So it actually kind of encourages its agents to basically just trash their laptops.
Yeah. Yeah, in fairness, this actually does check out. Remarkably.
Yeah, I mean, you trash your car, laptop on your equipment, you need a full set of these things, also a bunch of medical insurance. Sure. Yep, we'll pay for all that. That way we can, look good, and we can even ask for even more money next budget meetings.
Yep. And in a sense, the FBI probably love this guy because because his expenditure is so fucking massive.